Can you help? Can you help me? Can you help? Self-Helpless! Can you help? Can you help me? Can you help? Self-Helpless! Can you help? Can you help me? Can you help? Self-Helpless!
What's up, everyone? Welcome to Self-Helpless. I'm Delaney Fisher.
I'm Taylor Tomlinson.
I'm Kelsey Cook.
And oh my gosh, today, okay, you guys, I'm so excited for this episode. We have a fantastic guest, two-time finalist on America's Got Talent, Preacher Lawson, everyone.
Yay!
Yes,
Preacher.
sir.
Thank you.
And a beautiful vegan.
Thank you so much. I just found out you were vegan too. Two beautiful vegans. All right. High five on the white side. Yeah, man. That's so cool. I can't believe. So how long? Okay,
God.
I'm sorry. I'm not gonna ask.
No, we have
I was
so
about
many
to immediately
questions.
just jump into it. But first, I want to say thank you so much for having me. Y'all are super.
course.
This is so cool. And I'm
providing
sorry I'm
you
late.
with an ally.
Oh, it's all good. I just
Yeah.
wanted to say, like, first of all, you're obvious proof that vegans can't get built or ripped, you know, like really
Proof that
scrawny,
that's a myth.
scrawny,
Yeah.
scrawny man. No, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
what?
yeah.
If you follow
Oh.
Preacher on Instagram, which if you don't, you're dumb. You should. He just is it a deadlift? Is that
It's
what
a
that's called?
deadlift, yeah,
He
yeah.
just deadlifted 525 pounds. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh,
it was pretty-
what a weak
Yeah.
vegan. Oh my gosh.
I know. How are you?
You
Yeah.
must be so nutrient deficient, Preacher.
That blew my mind because Preacher came on Wrists of Fury, my foosball web series, and I was like, I think you're one of the most buff people I know. And you're like, I mean, you probably don't know that many people, and I'm
I
just like,
do.
are you serious? Look at you.
I think I'm in shape, but I don't think I'm like. I feel like buff is like you walk in, it's like you gotta go through the door
yoked up.
sideways. I mean, like, that's why
You're
I think.
built.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in
Yeah.
shape. Like I feel like I'm in shape, but
Well, I mean, I watched your AGT set and you were shirtless, so you're pretty built.
like a 22
I
pack.
definitely tuned in for that. So.
I won't.
Oh God. Anyway, so should we just get right into
Let's do it. I'm
Okay.
down.
So were you okay? I just want to preface this, you guys. I know this is gonna be this topic is so touchy for
It's
people.
so
It's so
touchy.
like some people are not even gonna tune into this episode.
Yeah.
We're prepared for that,
Yeah.
and I just want to preface it like you are the first in like our veganism series of several episodes we're gonna do. We're gonna get doctors on the show and health professionals and stuff like that.
I'm
so,
the first.
Yeah, you're the first of the
Okay,
vegan
cool.
series. So
Wow.
congrats,
No
man.
pressure.
You guys start the series? They look so excited, especially Taylor. She's just like, yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm so excited. You're the reason I don't eat chicken.
Oh, there you
really?
go.
Yeah, you
Look
talked to
at
me.
that.
I already don't really eat a ton of meat, but when
Just for
I
laughs?
talked to you and just for laughs, and you were like, yeah, no, chicken's like the most unclean meat
It's
or
the worst.
something.
It's the worst because they do like the whole process they do with the chickens. Like they pump with antibiotics and they die. They fall over, so they just feed the chickens more chicken. And it's like they just treat them. Yeah, it's pretty.
You feed the
Horrific.
chickens more chicken?
Yeah, they like grind it up and they just feed them back to each other, and then they just kind of like but then it saves them money. So.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I didn't know
There
that.
you go.
I'm gonna
Oh.
throw
There's a
up
lot.
I
into
would
the
be
microphone.
less
Yeah,
freaked
yeah.
out if they fed the chickens money. Like that's so gross.
Oh man.
The dirtiest substance on the planet.
man.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
It's not like cannibalism.
Dude.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. So
Ugh.
were you always a vegan, or did you?
No.
Okay. So tell me about that.
Okay, so I have I've been a vegan. I'll be in November. It'll be 2 years. I've been a
Oh,
vegan.
okay.
Yeah, 2 years
Wow.
to be a vegan.
Oh, nice.
I think when you met me, I was a vegetarian.
Oh, maybe that's what it was.
I wasn't a vegan at the time.
So you ate eggs.
Yeah, I ate
Okay.
eggs, cheese, chocolate, all the
Okay.
dairy. So I was a vegetarian first, and then I did it for a year, and then I didn't even know what a vegan was until I became a vegetarian. Like I'd heard that around. I used to work at like some, I forgot what it's called. Was it some farms, Meno Single Farms? or
Oh,
something like
Mendocino
that?
Farms.
Yeah, and they used to
Yeah.
have vegan on the menu. I was like, yeah, what the heck is a vegan? Like, what is a
Vegan.
Yeah, I was like, what is that? And I had that's when they fired me. They fired me in orientation, but whatever. Because I didn't know the menu, but so I've been a vegan about 2 years, and I was a vegetarian before that. But the reason I became a vegetarian was because I think I was watching a documentary with my ex. We were watching a documentary. It was in Africa. They take they were doing all these things to elephants, and they were just for the body parts and their horns, and they're just everything. It was, and I remember being like, oh, we were like, man, this is so messed up. How they're just taking the body parts of elephants and selling them. Oh man, I can't believe they do this to elephant. We got to do something.
You're eating wings.
Man, this whole time, you know what I mean? I'm dipping it in this dairy stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And then I was like, that's kind of bad that we're doing that. So we was like, we'll try it. We said we'll try it, and then we tried it for for a week, and it was hard, man. Then she went back home, whatever. She started eating meat, but I kept not eating. I was like, I just want to try it for like a month or something like that. And then for the first week, I felt weird.
Yeah.
I wasn't eating right. I was lightheaded. I was eating like a whole bunch of fries and pizza. I was like, this is not meat. And I remember the second week I felt like more energetic and lighter, and then the third week I just felt even better. I felt better mentally. I think a lot of people they always talk about the physical. They're like, oh yeah, I always lost weight and I trimmed up and this and that. But I feel better mentally. Like I feel like yeah. I used to get tired during the day. I'm like, why am I tired? I'm 25 years old. Why am I tired?
Right.
And then I just felt good. Felt good. But I did for ethical reasons.
Yeah. So, my God, I have so many questions. I don't know where to start. So, do you remember the documentary that you watched that kind of sparked it?
Yes. Yes, because if you told me I was going to be a vegan or a vegetarian or whatever 4 years ago, I'd be like, whatever. I'm not gonna. That sounds so stupid.
Yeah.
I actually would say something else, but I'm like, I don't know. I used to have a response when people told me to stop eating meat. But anyway, I feel like I should just whatever. So listen. If you told me I was gonna be a vegan or vegetarian like 4 years ago, I wouldn't have believed you. So
yeah. But if they told you you're gonna be a vegan, you're like, maybe. Yeah. I mean, I'll consider it.
I'll consider
think about
being
it.
a vegan. What was your question? I don't even remember what I was talking about.
Do you remember the name of the documentary?
Oh, Earthlings. It destroyed my whole. Did you see that?
I have not. So here's the thing.
Oh my! You haven't seen Earthlings?
I haven't seen Earthlings, but here's my problem now. Now because I am a vegan, watching that stuff just makes me feel hopeless and helpless, and it just makes me cry because I'm like, I'm doing the thing. What else could I do except do the thing? Yeah. And then I'm also talking about it a little bit, but like I feel like.
How long have you been a vegan?
So, okay, been a journey. So this time around, like 4+ months. But about 5 years ago, I went vegan for a year. And I crumbled under the social pressure.
Oh, you did?
Crumbled completely. So I definitely want to talk about that. I was getting a lot of shit from friends and family. Not everybody, but food has like always been a huge part of my identity. Like I've always been the friend that can just like eat like a tank and just everything like a garbage disposal.
Same.
So it might sound weird to say like people notice what's on my plate, but they do because it's such a big part of who I am. And so people started noticing like, Delaney's at this barbecue, why aren't you eating the ribs or the this? Or I'm like, oh, I'm just, trying a new thing. And I think it just started becoming too much. Yeah. And I really psyched myself out. Like, I'm never going to fit in anywhere. None of my friends or family is a vegan. Like, this is going to be so hard. And I remember I was about to go on a vacation and I'm like, there's no way I can go on this vacation with all these different people and all these friends or being in new settings and be the vegan person. I don't think I'm like strong enough to do that. And so I sabotaged myself and in the airport, I ate an Egg McMuffin from McDonald's. And I'm like,
you went for it.
Oh yeah. I'm like, you know what? If I'm gonna fail, I'm gonna fail hard.
Jesus.
So I ate it, and then the irony was I got to my destination and I ended up hanging out with 3 vegan people who I didn't know were vegan until I got there, and I'm like, fuck. This could have been doable, but mentally I was like, this is going to be hard. There are not going to be any options. Nobody's going to want to hang out with me. Like, just really psyched myself out.
But how did that Egg McMuffin taste after a year?
I felt awful because I had been vegan for a year, and so I ate that.
It takes a second,
and my body was like, "What the
fuck?" They're like, I always like feel bad in the beginning. They're like, "Oh, it's so bad." Then I just.
It takes several weeks to get like if you go from vegan to not. It takes several weeks.
We can do this. We can do this.
I felt like
poison in your body. Yeah.
I felt like shit. And then I was like eating with the vegans and I just didn't even mention anything. I just let them assume that I had been, eating meat and dairy indefinitely because I'm like, well, now I'm embarrassed in front of the vegan people that I just came to the McDonald's in the airport. So I think it it mentally fucked with me. The actual like grocery shopping and cooking and eating out, that was all relatively simple, but it was the social situations that I felt. So I want to ask you about that part. Like, have you gotten any shit for it?
Oh yeah, I mean, that's on TV.
Yeah. Oh, you
I'm
do.
saying on TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I remember I did a joke about. I mean, but I got like I didn't get death threats, but like people
Oh my
used
God.
to threaten me because I did a joke about dating a white girl. So I did that. I mean, so you can only imagine what they thought about vegans, because like
Right.
when you tell someone you're a vegan and you tell them for ethical reasons because you don't like harming animals, you know, they hear you're a bad person.
Right, they feel
It's
judged.
like, oh wait, you think I'm a bad person? It's like, I'm not saying that. I used to eat meat for years.
Yeah.
Right.
But for me, I just don't. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do it because I can't do it for these reasons.
Right.
And it's like, and usually your reasons, because everyone's against animal cruelty, right? Like if you walk down the street and you see someone beating a pig with a stick or something like that, you can be like, hey, stop
Right.
doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, what's that pig? He's like, I'm gonna eat it later. And like, well, don't eat it. You know, like you're gonna like if you walk, you know what I mean? You're not gonna. You're like, I already see it. So it's like
Yeah.
like if you walk into a room and then you see like a pig and a bunch of fruits, grains, vegetables, lentils. Beans, right? You're not gonna, and you have to choose between eating. You're gonna feed the pig. You're gonna be like, hey, I got an apple. Let's eat. These pigs are smart. They're not mean. They're not gonna, they're not gonna.
Yeah.
They're not like cows. Like they're super smart. They're super nice.
Are
They're
cows
super
mean?
sweet. Cows are the sweetest.
Oh, okay.
I mean, they're the sweetest. They're the sweetest. Yeah. So I mean, even in like these documentaries where they're getting like beat up and stuff, they're like still like, oh, I'm sorry.
Aw.
You know, like.
Yeah, it breaks my
You know,
heart.
they're like, oh, I'm sorry. They're way bigger. They won't attack back, and they just keep getting beat. And they're like, stop it, please.
Right.
The only time they kind of the only time they get aggressive is when you're taking the. This is getting sad. When you're taking the baby from the cow.
Yeah.
How do you feel
Yeah.
about eggs?
How
What's
do I feel
the
about
argument
eggs?
on that? Yeah.
Well-
because whenever I think about that, I'm like, okay, I could probably do vegetarian, but I don't know if I could not do eggs.
Well, I don't like eggs like that. I think I just
Oh.
ate them because I thought they were healthy, which they're not healthy.
Right.
What?
So they're not
No,
healthy. They're
no.
not. They're
What?
incredibly bad for you. They don't have any nutrients in it, actually.
Right.
And then they say there's good cholesterol, but it's like your body already naturally produces cholesterol. It doesn't need excess cholesterol. So it's like you don't. Yeah. So it's
You're
like
just eating a ball of cholesterol.
exactly.
Basically.
It's so trash for you.
See,
But-
that's like what everyone used to say, and then it it's gone back and forth so many times where then like however long ago they're like, no, eggs are really great for you. And you're
That's
like,
what you
oh,
get, yeah.
okay. And then it was like egg whites, and then it was all a whole egg. And I just I can't keep up. There's like so
Well,
much
it's a
conflicting
carcinogen. Well,
information.
most meat are.
The yolk
All
is a
meat
carcinogen?
Well, any animal product.
Yeah.
is a
Is a
carcinogen.
carcinogen?
Any animal
Like
product. It's
labeled
class
by
2.
the
UN, United Nations.
Yeah.
So
Really?
yeah.
Yeah.
So any meat. It is the reason why that the only diet to reverse heart disease is a plant-based diet.
Right.
So what does that say? So the only diet that can reverse only diet that can reverse heart disease is a plant-based diet. What's causing it? It's everything outside of that. which is
Right.
meat.
Right.
So
it's
even
like-
if you're like, I bought my own meat at a health food store, it's organic, it's free range, it's
This
all
is
the
meat.
things,
This is
it's
meat.
still
It's
carcinogen.
I think if
baby.
you, I'm not telling you to buy eggs, but like if you're gonna buy eggs, don't buy it free range. Just buy eggs. I mean, it doesn't.
'Cause
It
it doesn't make a difference.
Because technically, yeah, by law, you can fit 16,000 hens in one barn. So I mean, they're on top of each other. It's not free range. People just hear free range, and then in their head, you
Yeah.
have your own definition of free.
Right.
So I mean, that's what it. But it's
Oh,
like
so
if-
people put free range on stuff, and that doesn't
It
mean
doesn't.
that they're in a field?
16,000. No. They're
What?
They're on top of each other.
I
I thought
Yeah.
free range meant they came from a field, and
Look,
we're okay.
Hey, that's what we
No.
thought.
yeah. That's the thing is like if you actually take the time to do the research and do the digging, you will be horrified. There's nobody out there that can watch all these documentaries and not be moved
Yeah,
by
yeah.
it. And like I'm not saying that out of judgment. I'm saying that as somebody who was addicted to animal products
Yeah.
and saw it, and I'm like, oh fuck, I can't unknow this. This is always going to be in the back of my mind.
Exactly, and when you said addicted, that's not like a thing that's a real thing. Like, well, milk has animal protein in it. You know, animal
Right.
protein in order for us to break it down, it takes calcium from our bones. It weakens our bones. That's why the countries with the highest osteoporosis, they consume the most milk. You know, and it has casomorphine in it, which is addictive. It gets the calf to keep coming back, the mother to keep nursing and stuff. So it's like physically addicting. It's not in your head. Like a lot of people think, oh, I can't stop eating cheese because it's so good, but it's like, no, it's that drug.
You're addicted.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Did they compare it to cocaine or heroin? Because they have done studies on the addictiveness.
It's both. It's just a
cheese.
dopamine.
Yeah.
Yes, it's just.
And the irony that it's actually sucking calcium from you, and all the branding is like, you got to drink milk to have
sign anymore. You don't see those anymore.
Yeah, which is so funny. That was the whole argument.
Yeah.
So
So it's like
funny.
the 90s, but yeah. So my thing is, as far as the the chicken. I think we were talking about the eggs. I think
Yeah.
eggs.
Oh, right.
So the way they do that is they're the same process with the cows is they make the chicken on its period. So they're making it produce like 100 eggs or whatever a month. You know what I mean? Like they're making them. So imagine just being on your period every single day.
Okay, I'm very against that.
I'm not on board.
Everybody is against them.
Like they put them in cages and nobody
imagine
can
every woman on their period.
Yeah, the cages were what got me. I'm like, look, we can adapt to anything. It's the period every day. I'm like,
Oh,
God,
man.
that is just cruel.
Yeah.
It's just so hard. What's hard for me is that any food you can think of, there's an argument about why it's not healthy at all. Like fruit, people are like, oh, it's just a bunch of sugar, it's not good for you. Like there are people who like, don't eat that. Beans, I thought beans were like great, and then I read something, a couple weeks ago that was like, no, there's no nutrients. Your body doesn't get any nutrients from beans because like the skin and whatever around it just like binds the nutrients to the bean. Like all these things, grains, there's all these, books and shit about how grains are bad for you, like of every kind. It's like, well, what's left? Do we just have to eat lettuce? Like, what's left for us?
Well, yeah, go ahead.
Please, I want you to counter all of this. I'm not attacking.
No pressure.
I want to be. I want you to convince me to be a vegan.
Well, the United Nations and the World Health Organization, it's same with the American Health Organization, the American Diabetes. They all say that the plant-based diet is the healthiest diet. If you look at the blue zones of the earth, the people that are the healthiest and they live the longest, they have three things in common. They have a mostly plant-based diet, and maybe venture out to like vegetarian and pescatarian,
Right.
But mostly plant-based. And they all exercise and they have like a religious belief.
Yeah.
Wow.
Community. Yeah.
Yeah. It can, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we talked about that in the episode Happy, right? We remember that documentary. There was a little bit about that too, and there's been other documentaries.
I just want to go sit in church and eat some beans.
I love that you are super knowledgeable because I'm still a noob, and so I have just started kind of diving into the research, and I'm trying to like memorize my facts from reputable sources. So when people ask me about it, I'm not like,
Yeah.
And I think it's really fascinating. Like the thought experiment that you kind of brought up is like, look, I think everybody would answer this similarly. Like if I had the option of like, okay, there's a cow in front of me, or there's a field where I can grab some vegetables. Am I going to slit the cow's throat and eat it, or am I going to go grab those vegetables and make a stir fry or something? I'm choosing the vegetables every time. So why am I paying somebody else to do that for me? And then it's like out of sight, out of mind. But as soon as you start thinking about it, it's like I'm basically giving somebody, here's my money, so you can go kill that thing that I would not kill myself.
That's a good response when people are like, they're like, well, I'm not doing it. It's like, well, if someone, what's the difference between me murdering somebody or me paying?
Yeah, you're hiring a hitman.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
You're involved. Yeah.
but
Right.
I mean, is there a difference, like in jail time and stuff? If we looked it up, I'm just.
Right, I guess you would be, but you'd still, you'd still be put in jail.
Oh yeah, just not for as long.
Maybe you'd be an accomplice.
But you
or
should
something.
be, is what we're saying. Anyway.
Yeah. So, what are some of the things that when people find out you're a vegan, what are the reactions you get? What are the questions you get, and how do you handle that?
Well, I always get worried about protein.
Oh my God!
Right, yeah.
And then
Can you please just settle the protein thing right now, because that's driving me nuts with people asking me about that.
All protein comes from plants.
Thank you, Preacher. Thank you.
I got you. Yes. Yes. It's all. Anytime you eat meat, it's recycled protein. It's it's like it just. That's where they get their protein from, is from plants. They get the calcium from. It's like when people ask me where I get my protein, I always point to Kendrick Ferris. He's only Olympian weightlifter to qualify for the Olympics, and he broke records. He was a vegan.
Yeah.
And so you got to know that that we're 3% in the world. So if you take like 100 people and you take 3 as vegans and 97 as meat eaters, 97 meat eaters didn't make it, and 1 of the 3 vegans did. So yeah.
That says
Yeah.
a
And I feel 525 is the most I've ever deadlifted. So yeah.
It's impressive. You
Yeah.
should go plug your Instagram real quick.
Preacher Lawson.
Preacher Lawson on Instagram.
Yeah.
He's hilarious and it's incredibly impressive to watch
Thank
that.
you,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. So many packs.
Yeah. Go ahead, Kels.
Can you walk me through what you eat in a day?
When I wake up, I'll have oatmeal, fruit, bananas,
Okay.
with some cinnamon on top. And then my diet's really boring because I don't treat my diet too much as a luxury. I treat it as a necessity. So I need to eat, and I want to eat healthy. So it's not as much seasoning unless someone's coming over and I want to show off. And I'm like, hey, look at this pan.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you always been like that? Like a
Yes.
eat to live, not live to eat?
Yeah.
See
Ooh,
that?
I'm the opposite. But I'm the opposite.
But hold on.
Yeah.
I do eat, like, I eat out. I eat out
Yeah.
a lot. So
Okay.
but when as far as me cooking, I don't want to do all that.
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as me cooking, I'm lazy. But as far as me going out, I eat whatever. I eat ice cream almost every night.
It's just vegan ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah, vegan.
This
ice
is
cream.
this is
Almond
my
milk.
trouble
Coconut
with
milk.
becoming vegan is times where I've tried to cut that. I feel like I drift back to sugar, but tell me if this is true, because I've read that if you eat too much like meat protein like that, your body just converts that to sugar. Is that something?
I've never heard of that, so
Okay,
I don't
I
wanna
heard
speak on
that.
that, yeah.
All right, well, I mean, see, that's what I'm saying.
If
There's
your
so many
body
different
eats
things.
meat, well, this is my thing. So this is because I think you're going for health reasons. So when
Right, I am. I'm thinking about
health
health
reasons.
more than
Yeah.
ethics.
Yeah.
So I tweeted this, and someone made out of me. It was so cool. But I tweeted because as a kid, we all were taught as children, like, okay, milk comes from cows, right? So I tweeted milks. And as a kid, we were taught that milk comes from cows, but then you realize milk comes from mothers, right? So a cow, I thought that cows just had milk, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You think that they just, because as it was a cow, moo, where's the milk come from? Oh, it comes from the cow. But the cow has to be pregnant, right? So how do you think they get pregnant? There's a process. They're chained down.
Yeah.
They're force impregnated.
Oh, I never even thought about that.
They,
Wow.
the fist put up their anus, and they're force impregnated.
They're being raped.
And they're being raped the
Yeah.
whole time. So, and while the whole time they're pregnant, they're getting nursed. So they're getting milk taken away from them. As soon as the baby's born, guess what happens? They take the baby away immediately. If it's a male, they kill it. If it's a woman, they repeat the process. So I know a lot of people think their thought process is, I'm not a cow, so I don't care.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not a cow, because they don't associate with cows having emotion, but they do. Like they have, animals have emotions. Like do we have any dogs?
Oh yeah.
So when you ever come home and your dog's like, you was gone for like an hour.
Yeah.
Why were you? You know what I mean? Like they're
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
because you're its life. So that's the same with the cow. That cow's life is like, man, I think I'm pregnant right now.
Yeah.
I think I'm pregnant. I'm about to give birth to a baby. This life sucks. 'Cause I'm chained down all the time, and I'm just, people think I'm just,
Yeah.
Posture.
yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, that's the worst thing I've ever heard in my whole life.
Yeah.
So, but I guess I'm trying to come at it from a place, because there are so many people who just don't care. And like, even
Yeah,
when they
for
hear
sure.
that stuff, they're just like, that's what animals are for. Like a lot of
Yeah,
people
yeah.
genuinely feel that way. And then I feel like to get through to some people, the only thing that will affect them is like the health stuff.
Yeah.
Because people are innately selfish. And the statistics you were just talking about how the healthiest areas in the world are eating plant-based. I mean, there are health, reasons behind it. So I'm just wondering, do you feel like, I know it's possible to eat super healthy, but like, especially like when you're traveling, like how do you stay so healthy with limited options on the road, especially?
Oh, it's super hard.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm that healthy, to be honest. I think I'm just vegan. I think people associate, because veganism is a healthier diet, because you have to cancel out so many options. Like so many candies have, dairy in
Yes.
it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I can't eat that. So, I think ultimately I'm healthier because I'm just a vegan, but I don't eat healthy, man. I eat ice cream almost every night. It's just
Really?
almond milk.
Oh,
But I
okay.
mean, when I go on the road, the worst thing I'll probably eat like a like a bean burrito or something.
Okay.
I eat
Yeah.
like bean burritos or like
Do you like veggie burgers and stuff like that? Vegan
yeah,
patty
I'll
type
do
of
like a
stuff?
veggie patty, or a lot of this. I always get Chinese food. I get fried rice without the egg. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I
yeah.
mean? So it's like, yeah.
You told us what you had for breakfast. Can you also say what you have for lunch and dinner too? Just because I think people want to know what it looks like in the
Yes.
day of a vegan, just at home. Like when you are cooking for yourself, what do you have for lunch and dinner?
So for lunch, I might have like a burger or something like that. It's just a vegan burger, you know. So
Okay.
Beyond Meat patty or something like that.
Those are so good.
So
Those are
yeah.
insane.
The
They're
Impossible
amazing.
burger is really good too.
Impossible
Yeah.
burger.
Right.
Yeah, on oh, have you tried the field roast sausages?
No, I haven't
They
tried
must. They're so
Okay.
good. They're so good.
Are they soy based?
No, they're like made from apple and potato.
Oh, that's great.
Freaking delicious.
Some
yeah,
of the,
really good.
yeah. I don't know. I never heard of that,
They're
but like
good.
some are soy based. A lot of soy based. Soy
Yeah.
based or tempeh.
Right.
But you can make a lot of that with like, like some protein flour.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so yeah. Then I'll have like at night I'll probably have like, I don't know, some beans, rice. I always like quinoa. I'll have chickpeas. I'll make
Okay.
chickpea dishes.
Okay.
Lots of vegetables.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Now let me tell you what I eat on.
Yeah.
I feel like I
Yeah.
think because here's the thing: you can eat a healthy diet as a non-vegan, or you can eat an unhealthy
Yeah.
diet. Right?
Oreo's a vegan.
Or,
so,
or as a
I mean,
vegan,
Yeah.
you can be
Yeah.
a healthy vegan or an unhealthy vegan, and also people differentiate between a vegan diet and a plant-based diet.
Yeah, it's
right?
real
like,
different, yeah.
Right. So like
Oh,
you're
okay.
plant-based and I'm
Yeah.
vegan, basically.
Can we talk about
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Because I want to know
Yeah.
about that.
So, do you want to
Go
take
ahead.
that,
No,
Preacher?
you got it.
Okay,
You
yeah.
got it. I feel like I'm talking too much.
So,
Go ahead.
like the plant-based vegans, they're not really eating a lot of the processed stuff, right? Like they're not where I'm eating a lot of the processed stuff still. I'm trying to kind of transition into the healthier options. But and also as a vegan, correct me if I'm wrong because I'm a noob. You're also not like buying
I'm
any
not
kind
really
of.
that plant based, by the way. But,
You're not that plant-based, but
I'm like,
okay.
he just said
But,
ice cream.
yeah, I was like, yeah. I
Like
was
you're
like,
eating chickpea bowls for dinner, and I'm eating pizza and burgers.
Oh, okay, yeah. See, but I do eat pizza. I just save it. Like I save it. You eat pizza just at night. Okay.
Yeah. So like, and then also some people have a plant-based diet but don't consider themselves vegan. Vegans will not purchase leather. They're not going to use honey or silk
Yeah.
or anything animal product related, even if it's not about food. Where some people eat a plant-based diet but might wear leather and other stuff like that. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, but yeah. So I had shoes. I haven't worn leather in a very long time because I can't. It's weird now for me. It's just weird
Yeah.
for me. But there was a time when I was a vegan and I had some leftover vegan shoes, and I would wear, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think, 'cause I don't think there's any problem with that if it's already happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right,
But
like I know some vegans are like I go to vintage shops.
yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right,
But
yeah.
I just, for me, it feels. I was wearing a jacket. I was wearing it was my favorite jacket until I realized it was made out of fur, and that was like, I don't know, like 3 months ago, and I was just rocking it.
I
And
can't
was
picture
like-
you in like a fur coat.
It wasn't fur. My bad. It wasn't fur. It was
Leather?
it was just made out of animal, whatever. So fur, cool.
okay.
Yeah, she had to mink.
I know, I'm, like, picturing
no,
this, like,
Had my
giant-
gold chain.
Yeah.
But no, I was,
ATT changed you.
Yeah.
You're different.
So so I was walking around, just felt weird, and I don't see animals as like when I see a burger, I don't see that as a burger. I see it as a dead animal. Like it's it's weird to me. It's just
It's
weird.
changed.
Yeah.
It's weird. I know
Yeah.
because my brother became a vegan, and when he was first a vegan, he didn't do it for ethical reasons. He did it for health reasons. 'Cause
Right.
He's like, I just
Yeah.
want to be healthier.
Right.
And I would talk to him about animals. He's like, bro, you gonna make me eat meat again, man? Like, quit being, you're annoying me. You know what I mean?
wow.
It's like,
Yeah.
he's like, just you're annoying me. And then he starts slowly. I was arguing with someone, not arguing, but I was just talking to him about it. And he jumps in, yeah, man, you know what they do? So, and I was like, wait a second. He's like, listen, man, they just, kind of growing on me.
Oh my god.
Oh,
So
wow.
you're not using honey anymore.
Well, I have leftover honey that I was washing my face with, so I do have it still, but when it runs out, I'm not going to buy it again.
Gotcha.
So I'm using the leftover stuff I have that is not vegan. I was also gifted a leather purse for the holidays, and I'm like, well, I'm also a minimalist, and I don't have another purse. So I guess I'm going to wear that fucking
So
purse.
I think that's fine.
Right?
Though. Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I'm
think that's
not
still
going to
vegan.
buy that
Yeah.
stuff. And even I actually did go to the thrift shop recently, and I did see a leather purse I liked, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to buy this, price, even though it's secondhand, because there's still going to be demand for that thrift shop to fill the leather bag section.
Oh, yeah, good
so
point.
What was that quote you posted on Instagram? I thought that was so good.
God, it's so
it wasn't. I think it was about low waist, but I think it applies to this too.
Yeah, we don't need a handful of people doing it perfectly. We need millions of people doing it imperfectly.
Yeah,
like I think it's great.
beautiful.
Look, some people are really going hard on like low waist stuff. Some people do meatless Mondays. Some people are vegan. Some people are vegetarian. It all helps, right? It all helps. And that I am curious what you think about this argument, because I mean it's obvious to me, but I know a lot of environmentalists might be upset by it. But when people say they're environmentalists but they're not vegan, that's a big one.
Yes,
because
that's
going vegan is like the best thing you can do for the environment. But it's also like, well, they're doing something, so you don't want to like discourage anybody who's trying to do something.
65% of the reason of the environmental issues is because agriculture.
Right.
So it's like it doesn't mean it doesn't. I mean, I know they're doing something, but you can't really call yourself an environmentalist if you're not. You know what I mean? So it's
Right.
I mean, you can. You can. And I'm not like, but like, come on. Come on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
it's like, I want to play basketball, but I don't feel like shooting. It's like, well, that's the whole point, to score.
What are you doing?
Yeah, you're just on the team at this point. You kind of wasted space. So that's why I feel like,
Right.
but
It's like being a feminist who doesn't want to pay for anything.
I think it's interesting because people do it for different reasons. Some people do it for environmental reasons. Some people do it for ethical reasons. Some people do it for health reasons. I just tell people I'm doing it for the trifecta at this point. It's interesting because the first time I went vegan, I did it for basically like health reasons. Like that was my main motivator, and I couldn't stick with it. But this time around, I'm really doing it for environment and ethical reasons, and I've been sticking with it no problem. So and for anybody who's listened to our show before, I think that's the obliger in me from the 4 tendencies coming out.
Yeah.
If there's external accountability, like I know if this is going to help the environment and help an animal, I can do it no problem. But if it was just for my health, I wouldn't be able to stick with it.
Yeah, I don't care about my health, but I mean, I don't know. But
You're so ripped, you can't talk
I don't.
like that.
I care. I
It's
don't.
not. How much are you in the gym, bro?
The outside, I don't feel like that's health. You know what I mean? I just, you know what I mean?
Aesthetic.
I
Like,
care.
I'm vain.
That's for the ladies.
I care about this part, but I don't. The inside, I could die tomorrow. I just
Can I
want.
ask you a question real quick?
Yeah, I'm ready.
So when this episode started, I was like, I see you in the gym and you're so buff. And then Delaney was like, yeah, I saw you on AGT. Like, that was really fucking impressive. Does that make you uncomfortable? Because there's so, in this like Me Too time, like I feel like dudes can't say anything to women like that. I was just thinking role reversal. If it was 3 dudes and one of us came in and you were like, yeah, I've been looking at those Instagram bikini pictures, bitch. Like, you looking fucking fine. We would be like, oh God, this is uncomfortable. And like, did we make you uncomfortable or did you like it?
No, I'm fine, but it was just, I was thinking of things. I would have felt more. I felt like I would have felt more comfortable if I didn't know who you were, because I know what I would have said. You know what I mean? I know what I would have said back, and I was like, okay, well, just sit here, preacher, just take it, because you can't say anything. They're all married, so you know what I mean?
Not yet.
Nobody's married yet. You're fine.
I just be professional.
That's funny.
It hit me afterward. I was like, I
we
hope
Me
we
Too'd
didn't
him.
make him.
I'm glad you addressed
super
that.
uncomfortable, because we for sure objectified the fuck out of you.
sure did.
I'm totally fine.
Okay.
So my self-esteem loves it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I know there is that weird thing where I'm like, a guy that jacked like wants you to acknowledge it, which is so
You think I wore this shirt on accident?
it's so
My
horrible.
stomach in this whole time. I can't breathe. No.
Because you're so right. If someone said that to like a woman, you'd be like, I'm not asking for it in a tank top.
Well,
wow,
yeah,
you're
I've
the
had
worst.
so many like morning radio interviews and like
God.
the middle of nowhere where the guy's like, oh, Kelsey, and they're just like coming like from their fucking like anything they say is just like they're jizzing actively, and you're like, it's like 8 a.m. Like I don't want to feel like I'm being, you know what I mean?
I have had
sexualized.
morning radio DJs bring up to me how hot Kelsey is.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I know.
Had comedians come up to me and anyway. All right. So you know what's funny? This is what I don't like. I've had after shows or whatever, because I did rip my shirt off. You know what I mean? I did rip my shirt off, and when I did that, I didn't eat the whole day. Okay, I was starving myself so my abs would look good on TV. So I was cranky. I messed up my set. I didn't even do one of the jokes I wanted to do because I wasn't focused because I was so hungry. And And I didn't. Not only did I not eat, I didn't drink any water. I was trying to look shredded.
You Wolverined
Yeah.
it.
Oh, no.
And so I was like, I'm not gonna do nothing the whole day. So when I take my shirt off, I'm shredded because it's gonna be on TV forever. It's on forever. So I was like, I feel cool now, but I gotta look extra shredded. So I did that joke. But every show now, people are like, take your clothes off, take your clothes off.
Oh, you set a
And-
precedent.
And
Yes.
then every show, every single show. It's not
Are you
even
serious?
like every single,
Really?
there's not
Like
one
while you're on
show
stage?
While I'm on stage,
No.
they'll just yell it out, or I'll if I drink too much water, just take it out. I haven't even done it.
Oh, like if you give him that opportunity.
Room.
Yeah.
Do you honestly think anybody's gonna leave your show going like, he looked more hydrated than he did on AGT? Like, do you think anybody's gonna be bummed?
It sounds like some women like really fucking want to see that.
I don't do it at shows. I do it
Right.
at shows. I just me.
I just did it on national television.
on TV. I had to look shredded.
Yeah.
Tampa, you don't get the pecs. That's just for. That's
But I
just
don't
for
want to do
TV.
that. Any joke I do on TV, I don't want to do anymore.
Right.
But
Yeah.
after I get off stage, there's always like some 35-year-old mom that's like trying to. The first time she ever got out the house, and she's trying to take my clothes off. There's always happened. It's happened 3 times, and it's been times. Well, 3 times we were uncomfortable. It's happened more than that, but 3 times it was like really to the point where my brother had to step over.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. They're like, they'll start. It's crazy. Like
Preacher,
someone ripped my shirt. Someone ripped it, and so I was like having like sideways V-neck the rest of this. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's like insane.
My God.
I was
need a
in
bodyguard.
Michigan. That was pretty. No.
That's
He is his
crazy.
bodyguard.
He is his own bodyguard.
yeah, I'm fine. Yeah. But
Holy shit.
You know what's crazy? So I did post that because I was like I was at the show in Michigan. It was in Michigan. It was Royal Oak, Michigan. Have you ever played that club?
No.
The club's amazing.
Is that the Comedy Castle?
That's Comedy Castle.
Comedy Castle.
Yeah.
That's where it was at.
Yeah.
There was the manager asked him. He was like, he had to step over because she was like,
Oh my
trying to rip. Because I was like, hey, stop, hey. Because my style is like I'm I'll jab you, but I'm kind of funny. I'm likable. Hey, you supposed to like. So it's like when she was doing that, I was like, hey, come on, hey, stop for real. Hey, stop. What do you say?
Right.
Hey.
Right.
Big voice.
Whoa.
Stop.
Yeah.
You know, like what are you
Oh my
doing? So I had to.
God.
It made me almost look like a bad guy because I'm like, why? Stop grabbing my shirt. You know what I mean? Like, stop. What are you doing? You know. So it's like.
But they put you in that position. I mean, that's not your fault. You're just trying to
that's
like
harassment.
set your boundary. Yeah,
And
you
then
don't want that.
And then I posted on Instagram, and I was like, man, trying to rip my shirt off. And then everybody was like, that's what you get taking your shirt off on TV.
Oh,
And I was like, what if it was reversed?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
What if it was reversed? And then
Yeah.
Oh my
no,
God,
no.
yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Holy
Fascinating. Well, thanks for
shit.
letting me ask
And
you
then,
that.
but then I don't care. But then I tell my brother or I'll tell my like somebody, and they're like, I'm complaining because someone wants to rip my shirt. Like no one really takes seriously.
Oh, there's personal boundaries. I mean, that's not, yeah.
Anyway, so I wasn't offended at all. I know I took 17 hours.
But if
I
you
mean,
try to
yeah.
rip your clothes off, you might
Yeah.
Then we
That's the
got
line.
it. We got the line.
I have another vegan question, if it's okay. Okay, so here's another question for you, and this is probably more of a hypothetical because this isn't really a thing, like unless it's a tiny independently owned farm or something. Are you against like animals being food no matter how they're treated, or is it mostly the treatment that you're like, well, this is why
Good question.
I can't eat meat? You know what I mean? Like if you knew that when you got meat, it was like, this cow died of natural causes. This isn't a real thing
Then
that
it's
could ever
probably
happen.
diseased or something.
Right, yeah. You're like, no, this cow was 85, or whatever. If you could
cow
get
died in his
things,
sleep.
yeah. The more I'm talking, the more I'm realizing this is the dumbest hypothetical question I've ever asked. But is it most, because you were saying the free range thing isn't even happening, right?
No, it's not.
So was that just like a response from farmers as like, well, okay, we'll put them in a field, and everybody's like, oh, okay, all right, and then it's not.
I have a situation I'd like to talk about. So,
Yeah,
Kelsey,
please.
let's say that after this podcast, I killed you. I killed you in this lobby right now, okay?
I just want the video, the cameras to show on record that if I die today, she needs to be arrested. Just
But let's say on the other hand,
Yeah.
but let's say on the other hand, I'm just trying to use a person. Okay, it could be anybody, a person, right? No, but let's say no, that didn't happen. But after the show, instead, I took you to a movie. I
Yeah.
bought you a massage. I fed you a nice dinner, and then I killed you. Am I?
I'm sorry. I'm just so on your
That's
side.
so good.
Yo. Oh man.
so good.
Hey, what if? Come on, she hot right now.
Bye.
What is?
That
What is?
was
Spin around for a second. That deserves a spin around. That's funny.
So anyway, the point is,
So what you're saying
I'm still
is-
murdering
I like how
Kelsey.
you
That-
winked at me before you did it. She was like,
She knew it
"Watch
was coming.
this." So imagine
yeah.
I murder you. I'm like, hey, what? I think you went to murder too fast, though. That was funny.
She hit that line hard.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
what?
I killed you.
Well, it's
Yeah.
supposed to be shocking, right? Because
It's really
we're
good.
basically taking. You're talking about one animal, and I'm talking about another animal, but we've separated humans and everything
Here,
else.
here.
right?
I should rephrase the question. This is what I'm saying because I think some people. I'm trying to think of all the possible arguments.
Oh, of course,
not even ones
yeah.
I agree with.
No,
Yeah.
I
But, like,
love this.
When
Yeah.
some people are like, okay, but what if you hunt your own food? You know, like that. Like I think Joe Rogan like eats a lot of deer, but he shoots them himself.
Right.
And then people are
Right.
like, well, I guess that's okay. But that's a great argument for it. Is like,
Yeah, my
Even
thing is like all this research, all the stats. We basically know now that you do not need animal protein to survive and be healthy. So it is an active choice to
Yeah.
kill an animal and eat it. We don't need the argument is like it's nature. We have to all that
Yeah,
stuff.
they'll say
Lions.
yeah, they'll be like, well,
lions
you
kill
gonna
each
stop
other.
lions from killing zebras?
right.
And it's like first off, that's natural.
Right.
What our agriculture is not natural. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
Like the number one for suicide is people that work in agriculture. Like they're
Really?
are you kidding me? They have to kill animals. There's a reason why
That makes sense.
There's a reason why the kids that kill animals at a young age is a sign of a serial killer because like you're not supposed. You know what I mean? Like so.
Oh,
it's-
yeah.
So it's
A sentient being
yeah,
that does
yeah,
not
yeah.
want to be killed. They're screaming, they're crying, they don't want to be
yeah,
killed. So
it's like so.
yeah.
Earthlings mess me up because I to be honest with
can't
you,
watch
everything
it.
you're telling me, if you had told me that 4 years ago, I'd be like, man, that sucks, man.
yeah, same.
That sucks.
Same.
But you know what else is good? Chicken.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna eat
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That was my thought. I was like, I like chicken, and then I
Yeah.
seen Earthlings, and I was like, why did I watch this? I was having
Yeah.
a good life.
Whole lives in
fine.
Thailand.
I know.
I was doing fine to this stupid movie. So you know
Yeah.
what Earthling Ed is?
Huh?
Earthling Ed?
Yeah,
Come
yeah,
on now.
yeah.
He is like Jesus or something.
Yeah, yeah.
He is. He
Tell
looks like
people,
him. He looks
the
like
people
Jesus,
who
though.
Earthling Ed is.
Earthling Ed is he's like Jesus.
That's all we need to know, apparently.
No, he looks like Jesus though.
Yeah.
No, but he's like the number one guy. He's
Yeah.
just so smart. He just he definitely helped me in my vegan journey. If it's weird that sounds.
No, yeah.
Because he definitely breaks things down and
Yeah.
he's a smart guy and he's like younger than me. It's weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
How old are you? Young too? You're like 20.
I'm 25.
You're 25. That's
How
still
old are
like-
you? You're
I'm just
you're
how old
young.
am I?
You just
27.
28?
Really?
Yeah.
29?
No, I'm 27. I'm 28.
Oh, look at
yeah.
good.
That's what I was. Gonna say. Okay, yeah.
cool.
So you're right.
People think I'm older, man. It sucks. They always
Really?
think I'm the older brother at the lot. You know, every time I walk around.
You
they
carry
go,
yourself older.
No,
Yeah,
I don't
mature
know. I think
presence.
I look old. It's okay.
No, you.
I don't think you do at all.
No.
Really?
No.
Why does everybody think I'm older? I
maybe
feel like
'cause you
I'm
have your
not
shit
that
together?
mature.
Because you
Okay,
carry
maybe,
yourself.
yeah.
It's like it's an energy thing.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't know. I really don't have it.
Yeah, if people.
I do a really good job of faking life. I cried to drive up here, but
Okay, I have another question. I'm sorry, I'm asking
No,
a lot
please
of
do,
questions.
please do.
My other
This is
question
fun.
is when you were becoming a vegan, you were like, okay, I got to do this. Was there any part of you, because I'm sure a lot of people will do this, because I've certainly done this, because I haven't eaten like red meat or dairy in years, but I'm like, I'm doing my part. That's kind of been my thing.
That's still good.
It's
yeah.
good, but it's not vegan.
It's not, yeah.
And I'm just trying to again think of all the different arguments people could have
Yeah.
of like when you were becoming a vegan after you saw that, was there any part of you that's like, okay, I'll stop eating animals, but like fish are dumb? Like, was there that kind of thing where you're
I
like,
was just about to ask that. Like,
you
where
can't
do you,
scream underwater?
Where do you feel
Yeah.
about fish?
Well, I just feel like my argument is I don't want to cause any unnecessary pain. I don't think we don't. I think we can all agree that intelligence doesn't dictate, worth.
Right.
Right.
Sure.
So it's like there's. I mean,
Right.
Well,
babies
I
are
mean-
dumb.
Do we? Are we all?
Yeah.
Shitting? Oh
Yeah.
yes, absolutely.
I think the fact that we're more intelligent than these creatures, I think it's our job to be the bigger sister, bigger brother, and to take care of them.
That's so
So
nice.
I think
Yeah.
I think if you look at the people that thought they were more superior than other races or beings.
Yep.
And if you
my
look at the
God.
history, they do the most damage.
Well, now I'm gonna eat a burger and feel like Hitler. Now I just
You're in and out Hitler.
I'm in and out.
She was like, I'm gonna feel so bad when I do it later.
I know. I'm making. I already have the food in the fridge. I gotta cook this pork dish. And I'm gonna have to do it, but I'm gonna feel like Hitler. I'm gonna feel real bad.
I was my last, all the chicken in the freezer, the cooking, I had a good time. I was like, I'm gonna just do all that. Yeah,
Soak
I
this in.
thought I would eat meat again.
Oh yeah,
Really?
I gave myself an out. Like even talked about it a little bit on the show, and I'm like, I'm not telling anybody about it. I'm not gonna do. I'm just gonna. You guys, the people that listen to the podcast will know about it. I'm not telling friends or family, or whatever. And then every month that went by,
friends are gonna know. They listen to your podcast.
well, yeah, some of them, not all of them, but yeah.
Cool.
So I'm like, yeah, if you listen, you'll know. But I was giving myself an out because I thought, like, if this is hard, I want to be able to go back to doing whatever the fuck I want, and then not feel like a total hypocrite in front of everybody I know.
Yeah.
And then every month that went by, I'm like, oh my god, this is easy. This is easy. Can we talk about how okay? I want to talk about how I'm basically not doing anything different. That's what I want to talk about because people hear vegan and they say, "Oh my God, good for you. That's so hard. You must eat that like you're depriving yourself." No, I am eating all the same shit.
Yeah.
I'm eating burgers and pizza and pastas. I'm just, when you go to the grocery store and you have to pick between two different types of sausages, that is all I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm picking this sausage instead of this one.
That's a great example.
I am not going out of my way to be a vegan. I have every restaurant I go to has been great vegan options.
You also live in LA though, so you gotta
that's
imagine
true.
someone
That's
living in Kansas City.
Right.
Yeah,
there might
so-
not be an option.
gotta go to
but I mean,
Taco Bell.
I haven't changed the stores I shop at. I haven't changed the restaurants I eat at. So it's like, okay, Vons. Is there a Vons by you? Is there a Target?
Yeah.
Is there a Ralph's?
Yeah.
Is there a Whole Foods,
Walmart.
Trader Joe's, Walmart? I mean, probably, maybe not. Maybe there's a convenience store that doesn't have those options, which I understand, and hopefully the more kind of the decisions that we make will have like a snowball effect, and there will be more options for people who have limited resources.
Well, when people think about a vegan diet, they're like, "Oh, you don't eat meat? Like, what do you eat?" And it's like everything else.
Yeah.
That leaves everything else. If there's no meat, there's everything. You seen the food? The little pyramid thing?
Yeah.
The whole thing. That whole.
It's a big
thing.
pyramid. That's a lot of time.
There's
Yeah.
a lot. So I mean, it leaves everything else to eat. So there's plenty of options. Anything new is hard. So anytime you don't work out, you start working out, it's gonna be hard. Anytime you start, no one gets on the piano. It's like, oh man, that was the hardest 15 seconds of my life. I got it. That was, everything's a process. So
Exactly. I think there's like a resistance. Look, you have spent your entire life with this habit. It's not going to change overnight, and nobody's expecting that to
that's
happen.
what it is. A habit.
Yeah, it's a habit. That's
Yeah.
all it is. And it's like, think of anything that you've done, incorporating exercise or changing a career, whatever. And like on this show, we talk about like, we question so many things, right? Like for us, it was like a lot of people go to work, hate their job, and that's it. They don't try to get out of it. For us, we're like, no, that doesn't seem right. Like we want to do what we love for a living, right?
Right.
That ended up working out.
That's a good
and then
point.
the next thing, like for me, it just felt like the organic next process. Like then, we as a society, we're told like, you need to buy all this stuff. You need to, get the best car and this and this. And I'm like, that doesn't make me happy. Like I want to be a minimalist. I want to own as little as possible because that makes me happy. So I questioned that about our society. And I'm like, oh, this is working really well. And now I'm like, well, where does my food come from? And do I really need to be doing this? And I'm like, oh, I am basically pretending like I've never, like you're kind of like starting with this clean slate and trying to make up your own mind with, blocking out what you've learned growing up and stuff like that. And then I was like, oh, this is working for me. So for me, it was just kind of a process of, it felt like the next step for me.
Yeah.
Like I was questioning everything about why do we do this? Where does it come from? What is this tradition?
You're like having like a quarter life crisis.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Well, it's been a years of a process. It didn't first I became a minimalist, then I decided like I got to get a job I really like.
So when did you become a minimalist?
God, when
long
I was
was
like
that?
24,
Oh,
so
okay.
5 years ago.
Oh, okay,
So
cool.
like this has
So you
happened.
have like 3 things in your house? You have like one picture?
I have like, one of everything.
Really?
Yeah, maybe 2.
If you
Honestly.
hang out with her enough, you'll start to see some like fashion choices that are fashionable. because she
Really?
only owns like 4 shirts, and then she started to use her boyfriend's shirts, and there have been times where I'm like, this is not
Wow.
okay. We have to.
But it's like, it didn't. And then the first time I went vegan, I started off vegetarian. Oh no, I was doing pescatarian or ovo-pescatarian. Then I went pescatarian. Then I went vegetarian. Then I went vegan. It was not something that the next day I woke up as a vegan. I think people think like, oh my God, that's going to be so hard. But you just ease into it.
Yeah, you can take it step by step.
You start with one thing. Like Kelsey, you guys don't eat dairy. Like you're already so close to being there. It's like, maybe just start with one product that you change out. Instead of milk, you buy coconut milk or almond milk or something.
I would say almond
right?
milk. That's the closest
Almond
so
milk?
far to
Yeah.
milk. Like coconut milk's a little
Yeah.
watery.
Yeah,
I love almond milk.
Like,
Yeah,
so
almond
good.
milk's really good.
Yeah.
Cashew milk is really good.
Yeah.
Any nut milk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's really I the reason I can say that I'm sticking with it is because it's been easy, and I'm a big enough of a dick to be like, if this was hard, I don't know if I could do it.
Yeah.
You know
That's a
what I
good
mean?
point. If Delaney, because lazy is not the right word, but I think you like things like you're like the least lazy person I know. But what's the word I'm looking for? Like
Simplified.
simplified.
Yeah.
Like if something's too much, I think that's like the minimalist in you. That's like, I'm not going to do it if it takes 25 steps. Like I guess because you hate cooking.
Oh, hate
that's
cooking.
what I'm thinking.
I don't
of.
cook. Really.
hate
So if
That's why I make
hate
this
it.
bulk stuff. I don't like cooking.
Oh my God, I hate it so much.
Unless it's for someone, right? You like cooking for people, right?
No,
okay, never
fuck
mind.
that. No, I don't like. I tried to like cooking, and I even told my boyfriend recently, look, I'm never going to be this person that likes cooking. So if
Does he
you
like
want,
cooking?
He does more than I do. But we both just
Wait,
get into
does he like it though?
Does he like cooking?
You say you hate it, so if he likes more, then you can still hate it. Just not as much as you hate it.
He doesn't. He's indifferent. I think like he'll do it, and sometimes he likes it. But like I'm never gonna be this person. I will. The Whole Foods hot bar has been really good for me right now. I don't know if you've shopped around there, but they have great like easy vegan options.
Yeah, I know.
And I just box it all up, and I'm like, you know what? This is my dinner for the
That's
next
expensive.
week.
I was just gonna say that.
It's like
so expensive.
it's $10 for a giant box of stuff.
Yeah, I
And it
know,
lasts
but
me the
like
whole
that
week.
adds up. That adds up.
Yeah.
But
I still forget I have money sometimes.
no, it's
I'm like, I think you're
do.
okay.
I'm like,
I know, but I still I've been broke for so long. I just kind of sometimes I forget.
It's more expensive than buying like beans and rice and vegetables and stuff and like making it. But I hate cooking so much that I'd rather pay the convenience fee of not having to spend my time on cooking.
Yeah.
You know?
it does. I will be cooking
hate
sometimes, and I'm like, man, this is taking forever.
And there's cleanup,
Yeah.
and then there's.
The
I'm
cleanup,
so
man.
drained after I cook that I'm just like, oh, this ruined my day.
Right.
Yeah.
So
That's what I mean by if you can do it,
Yeah.
then like anybody can do it in terms
Yeah.
of just, like not wanting to cook. Like,
oh my
then
God,
it's possible.
It's
yeah.
and and it's so
I
interesting
cook
because.
in bulk. You cook in bulk.
See, you do the meal prep shit.
I do the
I
meal-
can't.
yeah, I get
that's
meal
like
prep.
4 hours of my day
This
that
is
I'm like
a meal prep body. Like this is exactly like not to stereotype
feeling
your body
uncomfortable.
type,
I
but
don't
like
like the way-
the ripped gym dude. That is meal prep.
This
like that
man
takes
has Tupperware.
that takes dedication.
It does,
That takes
but I think it's
dedication.
important for
I don't even
people.
have Tupperware. I just take the spoon out the pot, put it in the bowl.
You just keep it going.
Oh my God, I think it's important for people to know that there's like two ends of the spectrum here, and you can
Yeah.
fall in the middle or one. You know what I mean? And
We're not the stereotypical vegan.
yeah, like you can make it whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
And man, it's interesting because once I decided like I'm gonna do this, and I go to the same restaurants, I will eat the vegan stuff. And I'm like, wow, this is so good. Have you guys always had this on the menu? And they're like,
know.
yeah.
We're like, yeah,
it's always been here. I'm like, well, I just wasn't looking for it because I
Yeah.
wasn't in that frame of mind. I'm like, oh my God, there's actually so much I could be eating.
Yeah.
But I just assumed like, oh God, it's going to be hard. I got to be one of those people at the restaurant that's saying, please leave all this stuff off. And I'm going to come across as difficult or annoying or
Oh,
whatever.
'Cause-
And it's been
yeah.
fine. It's been fine.
They do put like butter on everything.
Yeah.
do.
Butter
You
on
have to ask for
everything.
no butter.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
They
we
just
should
take
probably
Oh, man.
should wrap up. Preacher,
good.
you're
Sorry
the
this wasn't that
best.
No.
funny.
Oh my
This was-
God.
Are you
This was
kidding
so
me?
fun.
This was so much funnier than a lot of our episodes.
I feel like okay.
we do some real serious ones.
Okay,
this was
cool.
great. Don't worry
This
about
And
it.
was
if people
great.
want extra funny, please go watch the episode of Rissa Fury with Preacher because
you,
he was
Jasmine.
so funny. Definitely one
fun.
of the best episodes we've done. One of my
Thank you.
favorite guests.
You're the best.
He was
So good.
Of course.
Do
He was
you
hilarious.
do you want to leave any last words of advice for anybody who's maybe considering trying this out?
Hey, just try it out. One more camera. Look at
He's
that.
like, hey, I think
Hey,
you're like
if
a
you're
real.
thinking about it, never do tomorrow what you can do today.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hey, the next time you go to a restaurant, try one of the vegan or vegetarian options.
yeah.
See if you like
And if
it.
it's nasty, you can blame her because I didn't say that.
That's right.
Try it.
Can you plug where everybody can find you? Anything you want people to watch? Any of that?
At Preacher Lawson on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, YouTube. I got a vlog on YouTube. Oh, snap. Hold on. I got to put y'all on my... I was so into the conversation. I got a vlog on YouTube. Say what's up, y'all.
What's up?
Yeah, with the Self-Helpless podcast. And so just check that out, man. If you want to come to shows, it's preacherlawson.com. So everything's Preacher Lawson.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Real quick, I'm going to be headlining the American Comedy Company July 25th through the 27th in San Diego. I'm going to be at the Everett Theater and Longview Theater up in Washington State in mid-August. And then Indiana. I'm doing a University of Indiana August 23rd. So go to kelseycook.com for tour dates and tickets.
And then if you happen to be in Dublin, I'm in the Vodafone Comedy Festival in Ireland the 25th through the 27th of July. I am at the Funny Bone in Des Moines the 18th through 20th. I skipped one. The 12th and 13th, I am at the Comedy Palace in San Diego. I just did all my dates backwards in July, but it's fine. August 9th, if you're in Detroit, I am at the Energy Music Theater with Impractical Jokers, and Madison, Wisconsin, Comedy on State, 15th through 17th of August.
All right, and I just want to give people a list if you guys want to learn more. Here's some documentaries you can check out. Dominion, Forks Over Knives, Vegucated, Earthlings. I also love the Ritual podcast. He's got a lot of great vegan guests on there. And That Vegan Couple is a great podcast, too.
But
And
1,000% Earthlings.
yeah. That's what
other
people are
ones,
talking
you gotta watch
about.
that, too.
I would just be sad. It's
will
going to make
be.
me so sad.
She's already
Yeah, I know.
She's already
I
bought
know.
into it.
Yeah, I
My
got into
bad.
it.
My
I
bad.
turned.
Acquired.
They turned me.
Yeah,
been converted.
It's so bad.
Also, you guys message me on Instagram if you have questions. Like, I like talking about this stuff, and I like hearing about where you guys are eating and trying new stuff. So, I'm a noob. We're still learning, but yeah.
Same. I'm pretty new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo.
Oh, we love you, Preacher. Thanks for
Love
doing
y'all
it.
too. Thank you so
All
much.
right, bye.
Bye. You guys, we love you so much. Thank you for supporting Self-Helpless. You can follow us on social media on Instagram and Facebook at Self-Helpless Podcast. And you can visit selfhelplesspodcast.com for all things Self-Helpless. Learn about Patreon and how to sign up. Our merch is there. Information about our Facebook group and how to join. All the episodes you can listen to are on there, a little bit about the show. Our individual sites are linked there, and our contact information, email, and P.O. box if you want to send us some love letters. And you can follow us individually as well. I am at Delaney Fisher on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and DelaneyFisher.com, where you can watch my docu-comedy special, Love It First Cousin, for free. And then DicksByDelaney.com if you want to buy some dick mugs.
Sweet. I'm at Kelsey Cook Comedy on Instagram, at Kelsey Cook on Twitter, kelseycook.com for all tour dates and merch. And my album, Savor It, is still available to buy on iTunes. And you can watch Wrists of Fury, my foosball web series that has an episode with Taylor and Delaney on the All Things Comedy YouTube channel.
And I am at Taylor Tomlinson on Twitter and Instagram, and ttomcomedy.com for my Netflix special and all live tour dates.
Sweet. We love you guys.
So much.
Yeah.
Bye. Bye-bye.